Look at your lawn for a second. Do you see that ugly brown patch? Maybe it's near your driveway. Maybe it's right in the middle of your yard where everyone notices it. Or maybe you have several brown spots that seem to get bigger every week. You've probably tried watering more. Maybe you even added fertilizer, hoping the grass would turn green again. But nothing changed. The grass still looks dry, brown, and lifeless. So now you're wondering, is my lawn dead? Most homeowners think the answer is yes. But here's something that might surprise you. There's a very good chance your grass isn't dead at all. And if that's true, you could save your lawn without replacing the grass or spending hundreds of dollars on lawn repair. Today, I'm going to show you a simple method that has helped many homeowners bring brown patches back to life in as little as 2 weeks. But before I show you the easy homemade solution, you need to understand what's really happening under your lawn. Because if you treat the wrong problem, nothing will work. Let's get started. Most people make the same mistake when they see brown grass. They immediately think the grass has died, so they buy expensive fertilizer, spread new grass seed, water every single day, and hope for the best. The problem is, they're trying to fix dead grass when the grass is actually still alive. Yes, you heard that right. During hot summer weather, especially when temperatures stay above 90 degrees for several days, many cool season grasses go into something called dormancy. Dormancy is simply the grass protecting itself. Instead of using energy to grow green leaves, the grass saves its energy by shutting down. The blades turn brown, but the roots underneath the soil stay alive. Think about a bear during winter. It looks inactive, but it's still alive. Grass works in a very similar way. It goes to sleep until conditions improve. That means your brown lawn may only be sleeping, not dying. And that's great news because sleeping grass can wake up. Dead grass cannot. So, how can you tell the difference? Luckily, there's a simple test that takes less than 10 seconds. Walk over to the brown patch and grab a small handful of grass. Now pull gently. Don't rip it out. Just pull with steady pressure. If the grass stays firmly attached to the ground, your lawn is most likely dormant. The roots are still healthy and holding on. That means there's an excellent chance your grass can recover. But if the grass slides out easily with almost no resistance, the roots are gone. Unfortunately, that grass is dead. This quick pull test can save you a lot of time and money because it tells you exactly what you're dealing with. If your lawn passes the test, you're in luck. The solution I'll show you in the next part can help wake the grass back up. If it fails the test, don't worry. Later in this series, I'll show you the fastest way to repair dead patches with new grass seed. Either way, you're going to learn the correct solution. Now here's another question. If dormant grass is still alive, why doesn't it turn green after you water it? After all, that's what most people do. They stand outside with a hose for 20 or 30 minutes, soaking the brown patch, yet, days later, it still looks exactly the same. Why? Because the real problem often isn't the grass. It's the soil. This is something most homeowners never hear about. When soil becomes extremely dry during long periods of heat, it can actually start rejecting water. Yes, rejecting it. This condition is called hydrophobic soil. It sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple. Hydrophobic means afraid of water. When the top layer of soil dries out for too long, tiny wax-like coatings form around the soil particles. Instead of soaking up water like a sponge, the soil begins to push water away. Imagine trying to pour water onto a piece of plastic. The water doesn't soak in. It beads up and rolls off. That's exactly what happens in many brown lawn patches. You think you're watering deeply, but most of the water never reaches the roots. Instead, it runs across the surface and ends up watering the healthy grass nearby. Meanwhile, the roots under the brown patch stay dry. This is one of the biggest reasons homeowners become frustrated. They water every day, their water bill goes up, but their lawn never improves. The grass isn't ignoring the water. The roots simply aren't receiving it. That's why understanding your soil is just as important as understanding your grass. Healthy soil acts like a sponge. Dry, hydrophobic soil acts like a raincoat. And until you fix that problem, even the best fertilizer in the world won't do much good. Here's something interesting. Professional lawn care companies know this. In fact, many of them use special products called soil wetting agents. These products help water soak into dry soil again. The problem? They can be expensive. Some homeowners spend $50 or more on products that only treat a small section of lawn. But here's the good news. There's a much cheaper solution that works on the same basic principle. In the next part of this video, I'll show you a simple homemade mixture using ingredients you can usually find in your own kitchen. It costs just a few cents to make, takes only a couple of minutes to mix, and can help water reach the roots again where it belongs. I'll also explain why each ingredient works, how to apply it correctly, and the one mistake that causes most people to fail. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video and want simple and care tips that actually work, make sure you subscribe to Yard Doctor. Every week, I share practical lawn care methods that save you time, save you money, and help you grow the healthiest lawn on your street. Now let's move on to the homemade solution that could completely change the way you repair brown lawn patches. Now that you know the difference between dormant grass and dead grass, it's time to talk about the solution. This is the part most people have been waiting for. But let me be clear about something before we begin. This isn't magic. It won't turn dead grass green overnight, and it won't fix every lawn problem. What it can do is solve one of the biggest hidden problems in summer lawns' soil that has stopped absorbing water. When you fix that problem, you give your grass a chance to recover naturally. So here's the simple homemade recipe. You'll need 1 gallon of clean water, 1 teaspoon of plain liquid dish soap, 2 tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses. That's it. 3 simple ingredients. You can usually find everything at your local grocery store, and the total cost is only a few cents per gallon. Mix everything together in a bucket until the molasses is completely dissolved. Then pour the mixture into a watering can or a pump sprayer. Sounds simple, right? It is. But here's where most people make a mistake. They spray it lightly over the entire lawn like they're applying fertilizer. Don't do that. This mixture is meant to treat problem areas, not your entire yard. Instead, walk directly to the brown patch. Slowly pour the entire gallon over that area. Don't rush it. Take about 2 minutes. If the water begins to puddle on top of the soil, stop for 30 seconds. Let it soak in before adding more. The goal isn't to flood the lawn. The goal is to help the water move through the dry surface and reach the roots underneath. Now you might be wondering,
Why dish soap?
that sounds strange. After all, soap is for washing dishes, not fixing lawns. The answer comes down to science. Plain dish soap acts as something called a surfactant. A surfactant reduces the surface tension of water. In simple words, it helps water spread out and soak into places it normally can't reach. Think about washing a greasy frying pan. If you use only water, the grease stays on the pan. But once you add a little dish soap, the grease breaks apart and washes away. The same basic idea happens in your lawn. Remember the waxy layer that forms on extremely dry soil? That layer pushes water away. The soap helps break through that barrier. Instead of rolling across the surface, the water can move deeper into the soil where the roots actually need it. That's why professional lawn care companies use products called wetting agents. Their products do the same basic job. The biggest difference? Many commercial wetting agents cost $40 to $60 a bottle. This homemade mixture costs less than $1 to make. Now, let's talk about the second ingredient, molasses. Most people think molasses is only used for baking cookies or making desserts, but it's also one of the best natural food sources for beneficial soil microbes. Believe it or not, healthy soil is alive. Every handful of healthy soil contains billions of tiny living organisms. There are bacteria, helpful fungi, protozoa, and many other microscopic organisms working together underground. You can't see them, but they work every single day. These teeny organisms break down organic matter. They release nutrients that grass roots can absorb. They improve soil structure, and they help the soil hold moisture much longer. Think of them as the workers inside your lawn. Without them, your soil becomes weak. During long periods of heat and drought, many of these beneficial microbes become inactive. Some even die because the soil becomes too dry. That means your lawn isn't just losing water, it's losing the tiny helpers that keep it healthy. This is where molasses becomes so valuable. Molasses contains natural sugars. Those sugars become food for beneficial microbes. When the soil finally gets moisture again, these microbes wake up and begin multiplying rapidly. As their population grows, they improve the health of your soil from the inside. Over time, the soil becomes softer. It holds water better. Roots grow deeper. Nutrients become easier for the grass to absorb. It's like rebuilding the underground support system your lawn depends on. This is why these two ingredients work so well together. The soap helps water get into the soil. The molasses helps rebuild the life inside the soil. One works from the outside, the other works from the inside. Together, they create much better conditions for dormant grass to recover. Now let's talk about what happens after you apply the mixture. Many people expect to see green grass the very next morning. That's not realistic. Remember, the real changes happen underground first. During the first 3 days, you probably won't notice much difference above the surface. That's perfectly normal. Under the soil, water is finally reaching the roots again. The roots begin absorbing moisture. Helpful microbes start feeding on the molasses. The soil slowly begins recovering from weeks of extreme heat. This stage is invisible, but it's the most important part of the process. Around day 4 or 5, you'll begin noticing tiny signs of life. Maybe a few green blades appear around the edges of the patch. Maybe small sections begin changing from brown to light green. Don't expect a miracle overnight. Grass recovers gradually. Every healthy root begins sending out new leaves. Those new leaves slowly replace the brown ones. By the end of the first week, the patch should already look healthier than it did before treatment. Now comes the exciting part. Between days 8 and 14, many dormant lawns begin changing quickly. Every day you'll notice a little more green. The patch starts filling in. The lawn begins looking alive again. In many cases, homeowners are surprised by how much improvement happens in just 2 weeks. Will every patch become perfect? No. Recovery depends on several factors. The weather, the type of grass, how badly the lawn was stressed, and whether the roots were still alive when you started. But if your grass passed the pull test from part 1, this method gives it an excellent chance to recover. Now, I want to clear up one common concern. Some people hear the word soap and immediately think it's dangerous for grass. That's a fair question. The answer depends entirely on the amount you use. Straight dish soap poured directly onto your lawn can absolutely damage grass. Too much soap removes the natural protective coating from the grass blades and can dry them out. That's why concentration matters. The small amount we're using, just 1 teaspoon per gallon, is highly diluted. At this strength, it works as a soil surfactant without harming healthy grass. This dilution has been recommended for years by many lawn experts for treating dry, water-repellent soil. Another important tip, don't use antibacterial dish soap. Don't use scented formulas. Don't use products with lotions or added chemicals. Choose the simplest plain liquid dish soap you can find. Usually, the cheapest clear dish soap is the best option. The same goes for molasses. Always choose unsulfured blackstrap molasses whenever possible. It contains more natural minerals and doesn't contain preservatives that may reduce microbial activity. Regular unsulfured molasses can also work if blackstrap isn't available. One more thing, timing matters. Apply this treatment during the cooler part of the day. Early morning is ideal. Late evening also works. Avoid applying it during the hottest hours of the afternoon because water evaporates much faster under intense sunlight. After applying the mixture, avoid heavy foot traffic on the treated area for a day or two. Let the water soak deep into the soil without disturbing it. If possible, continue watering normally over the next several days. Your goal is to keep the soil evenly moist, not soaking wet. Healthy roots like consistent moisture. They don't like constantly flooded soil. Now here's something important to remember. This homemade treatment is designed to help lawns suffering from drought stress and hydrophobic soil. If your brown patch is caused by insects, lawn disease, pet urine, chemical spills, or severe root damage, you'll need to solve those problems too. No homemade mixture can fix every possible cause of brown grass. That's why identifying the real problem always comes first. In part 1, we learned how to test whether your grass is alive. Now you've learned how to give dormant grass the best chance to recover. But what if your grass failed the pull test? What if the roots are completely gone? Does that mean your lawn is beyond saving? Absolutely not. I'll show you exactly how to repair dead lawn patches using the fastest reseeding method I've tested. I'll walk you through every step from preparing the soils and choosing the right seed to watering, protecting young grass, and helping it blend perfectly with the rest of your lawn. By the end of this series, you'll know exactly what to do whether your grass is dormant or completely dead. Before we move on, if you're getting value from this video, don't forget to subscribe to Yard Doctor. Every week, I share simple lawn care methods backed by real experience, not expensive gimmicks. Our goal is simple: help you build a greener, healthier lawn while saving money and avoiding common mistakes. Now let's talk about the worst-case situation. You did the pull test and the grass came out easily. There were no healthy roots. That means the grass is dead. At first, that might sound like bad news. But don't worry, dead grass doesn't mean you've lost your lawn. It simply means you'll need to grow new grass in that spot. The good news is that if you prepare the area the right way, new grass can grow quickly and blend naturally with the rest of your yard. The biggest mistake homeowners make is throwing grass seed directly onto a dead patch and hoping for the best. Most of the time, it doesn't work. Why? Because the problem isn't just the missing grass. The soil underneath is usually still dry, compacted, and unable to absorb water properly. That's why the first step is the same one we discussed earlier. Apply the homemade soap and molasses solution first. Even though the old grass is gone, the soil still needs help. Give the treatment about 24 hours to soak into the ground. During that time, the soil begins absorbing water again, and beneficial microbes start rebuilding underground. Once you've waited a full day, it's time to prepare the patch. Grab a garden rake and remove every bit of dead grass. Don't be afraid to rake aggressively. Your goal is to expose clean soil. Many people leave the dead grass behind because they think it will protect the seed. In reality, it does the opposite. Grass seed must touch the soil to grow. If it lands on dry dead grass, it dries out before it can germinate. Good seed-to-soil contact is one of the biggest secrets to successful lawn repair. After the area is clean, it's time to spread your grass seed. Always try to match the type of grass that's already growing in your lawn. If your yard has Kentucky bluegrass, use Kentucky bluegrass seed. If it has tall fescue, buy tall fescue seed. If you're not sure what type of grass you have, don't panic. A quality sun and shade mix is a safe choice for most home lawns. Spread the seed evenly across the entire patch. Don't dump it all in one spot. You want even coverage so the new grass grows thick and consistent. Now comes another important step that many people skip. Cover the seed with a very thin layer of compost or screen topsoil. About 1/4 of an inch is enough. You should still be able to barely see some of the seeds underneath. This thin layer protects the seed from drying out. It also helps keep birds from eating it and improves moisture around each seed during germination. Next comes watering. This is where patience matters. Don't soak the area with a heavy stream of water. That can wash the seed away. Instead, use a gentle spray or light mist. Water twice each day, once in the morning and again in the late afternoon. Your goal is simple. Keep the top layer of soil consistently damp. Not muddy, not flooded, just evenly moist. This is extremely important during the first 2 weeks. Grass seed cannot dry out once germination begins. Even one hot afternoon without enough moisture can stop the process. Consistency is the key to success. Now here's another mistake many homeowners make. They walk across the new patch. Kids run through it, dogs play on it, or they mow it too early. Avoid all of that. Young grass is very delicate. The tiny roots haven't anchored themselves yet. A single footprint can crush dozens of new seedlings. If possible, place small flags or temporary markers around the repaired area to remind everyone to stay off the grass. Now let's talk about the timeline. Many people become impatient after only a few days. Remember, grass grows naturally. It doesn't happen overnight. If soil temperatures are warm and moisture stays consistent, you'll usually see tiny green sprouts in about 5 to 7 days. At first, they'll look like thin green threads. Don't worry if they seem fragile. That's completely normal. By the second week, those tiny seedlings begin filling in the bare area. The lawn starts looking greener every day. Around the third week, the grass becomes thick enough for its first mowing. But don't cut it too short. Set your mower as high as possible. A mowing height of about 3.5 inches helps protect the young grass and encourages deeper root growth. After that first mow, here's one extra tip that many professionals use. Apply another light treatment of the soap and molasses solution over both the repaired patch and the surrounding lawn. Why? Because you want the new grass and the older grass to develop under similar soil conditions. This helps everything blend together much faster. Within a few more weeks, it becomes difficult to tell where the old brown patch used to be. Now, let's answer one question I hear all the time. What if the same brown patch comes back every summer? If that happens, the patch itself usually isn't the real problem. Something underneath is causing it. One possible cause is grub damage. Grubs feed on grass roots, leaving the lawn weak and easy to pull out. Another common problem is compacted soil. Areas that receive heavy foot traffic often become so hard that roots struggle to grow. Large buried rocks or construction debris can also prevent healthy root development. Pet urine is another possible cause. The high nitrogen content can burn the grass, creating small brown circles. Even poor sprinkler coverage can leave the same areas dry year after year. The lesson is simple. If a patch keeps returning, don't just repair the grass. Find and fix the underlying cause. That's how you create a lawn that stays healthy season after season. Now let's quickly review everything you've learned in this video series. First, don't panic when you see brown grass. Brown doesn't always mean dead. Use the pull test to check whether the roots are still alive. If the grass stays firmly rooted, it's likely dormant. Treat the area with the homemade soap and molasses solution to help water reach the roots and improve soil health. Give it about 2 weeks, and many dormant patches will begin turning green again. If the grass pulls out easily with no roots attached, it's dead. Prepare the soil first. Remove the old grass. Spread fresh seed. Cover it lightly with compost. Water consistently every day. Protect the area until the new grass becomes established. Follow those simple steps, and you'll have a much better chance of growing a thick, healthy lawn without spending hundreds of dollars on expensive lawn repair services. That's exactly what Yard Doctor is all about. Simple solutions, real results, no unnecessary products, no confusing advice, just practical lawn care that actually works. Before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. How many brown patches do you have in your lawn this year? Just one, a few? Or is your entire yard struggling after the summer heat? Leave a comment below and let me know. I read as many comments as I can, and your questions often inspire future videos. And if you decide to try this method, come back in 2 weeks and share your results. Your experience could help another homeowner who's dealing with the same problem. Finally, if this video saved you time, money, or frustration, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Asterisk Yard Doctor. Every week, we share simple lawn care tips, DIY repairs, and money-saving techniques that help you build the healthiest lawn on the block. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Yard Doctor community, and I'll see you in the next video.